Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. We also issue ISO certificates in all derivatives. And we're going to be open as of August 2024 for about 13 years. Been a long time. I want to just let you know this. My background is aerospace, medical implants, medical materials, printing, and plastic distribution, where we dealt with all these different industries. But this is absolutely disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, my fellow citizens, we have been privy to all this mess about car recalls, about aerospace failures, about medication contaminations. And I've been trying to tell you, but trying to talk to you, as Thomas Paine would say, when speaking the truth, it is many times like administering medication to the dead. Today, this video is Tulsa. Oh, Tulsa is unbelievable. Tulsa had over 1.1 million cars returned in China. Another 120,000. We're going to be doing that video relatively soon, but I want to get to this because all of these car companies sit on the International Automotive Task Force, which at the time of this printing that we took off the internet, they were being watched over and controlled by communist China. Between 2015 and 2021, Communist China was in control of the International Accreditation Forum, incorporated in Delaware, and they were involved with our quality since 1994, Zhao Junwu. And you go back into his CD background, you discover that he sits as the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services, located in Beijing, China, which was the certification body or accreditation body, whatever you want to call it, equivalent in accreditation to ANSI-ANAB, which is the American National Standards Institute, a private, not-profit, non-governmental entity. I've been around for 100 plus years, and they have most recently in 2018 took over complete control over the American National Accrediting Board. But regardless of that, CNAS, the China National Accreditation Services, is equivalent in accreditation to ANAB. So if anybody has any bitching and moaning to do about the virus being escaped from the Wuhan, China, I have a picture of the same guy, the Chinese national who was in control of the IF between 2015-21. I have a picture of him holding, smiling, with a laboratory certification in his hand. And make a story even sadder, you have Miss Pamela Sale at the same time. This man was standing, Zhao Junwu, the chairman of the IF, which is incorporated in Delaware, and also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services. Pamela Sale, the vice president of accreditation for laboratories, said, from one laboratory to another, there are variances. They lack protocols as to the standardization of what they're doing inside the processing of different items in that laboratory, whether it's a phlebotomy lab, forensic lab, biolevel 4 lab, etc. So you have the IATF sitting on the International Accreditation Forum. This video today is about Dodge, Nissan, and Mercedes-Benz board members of the IATF among 280,000 vehicles recalled. Quality is in the trash. It certainly is. The article will be down below with other articles to collaborate that, but I'm going to leave it there. Business owners, my fellow citizens, you're paying a lot of hard-earned money on these pieces of shit vehicles that are coming out. I should know, I've had my share of auto issues, and that's for another video. But you know something, when you're paying this type of price, like for the 120,000 Tesla, and that's Model X and S, one is 79,000 and the other is, I think, 140,000. So if you multiply even 79,000 by 120,000, that comes to almost 11 billion, if I'm correct in that, $11 billion reject. That's a hell of a reject. And each of you who has these cars that have to go back because of door failure, they said if you hit something, the doors pop open, may fly out. That to me is disgusting. That to me is lack of quality. And that to me is coming under the ANSI standards, because everything ANSI-ANAB touches turns to shit. And let me give you, for instance, Pfizer, all these companies are sitting on ANSI's board, right over by the American National Accrediting Board, which many of them try to shove down their suppliers' throats. As you can see, we have failure, and here it goes. Pfizer, During the process of the COVID vaccine, skipped quality processes and standards. They sit on ANSI. You have Johnson & Johnson did the same thing. They had 75 million vials returned because of contamination, skipping quality processes. You have Boeing, who most recently got caught between 2007 and 2018, not writing down proper autoclave temperatures and pressures on the V-22 Osprey, and about a month ago, you had a V-22 go down, killing at least 6 soldiers, 6 American servicemen and women. How do you like them apples? Could this be because of their lack of technique when it comes to autoclave operation? I was involved with aerospace. I was involved with autoclave operation. We had to go up as inspectors and verify pressures and temperatures. And Boeing skipped that between 2007 and 2011. On top of that, they fudged documentation. About 2017 and 18, we have all this. I don't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. We're just trying to get this true, because when you have automotive recall, under the banner of the International Automotive Task Force, you have some situations. So we have Boeing fudging documentation. You have now Lockheed Martin, here it goes, after their 801st aircraft, F-35, they still have failures up to including loss of aircraft and loss of pilot. So what I'm looking at is we're looking at the quality perspective. Joe Patia, the CEO of ANSI, is retiring. Finally, after 20 years of doing nothing, progress, nothing, because progress is reduction in rejections. Some of you will say, don't worry about it there. What am I going to do? That's exactly the way we always hear it. But remember something. They need some fucking oversight. Fucking. Well, the reason why I use that term fucking is because you have Russ Cheney, the chairman at the time, called me up because I exposed this laboratory issue that I just told you about. We exposed it, and he called me up and said, half a nut, fuck you. Is that professional, especially at that level? And I write them a letter, and I got no response. We're going to go back in the springtime, and we're going to picket them again, because all I wanted was an apology letter from one professional to another. Well, they're not professional. So if you hear the word fuck out of my mouth, it is an ANSI standard per Russ Cheney. And their lawyer approved it too, Jameson Carroll of Carroll and Weiss out in Atlanta, Georgia. And Joe Bathy, I think he's running away because he got his $30 million in those 20-year term. Was it worth it, the investment? No. And you know something? It's disgusting. So we're going to leave it here. I'm going to let you, the business owner, my fellow citizen, look up the articles. You'll find a lot of the information down below in the description. Telephone number 203-556-1493. Or Daryl, DARYL, TQRS @yahoo.com. I thank you.